storm. There's a golden sky and the sweet silver song of a lark. Walk on through the wind, walk on through the rain, though your dreams be tossed and blown. Walk on, with hope in your heart, and you'll never walk
We were just listening to Lana Del Rey's version of You'll Never Walk Alone. Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Beryl Stevens and I'm a civil funeral celebrant. A warm welcome to family and friends here in the chapel, and also those who are joining us by live stream from your homes and elsewhere as we remember and celebrate the life of Susan Ann Wight. Susan, or Sue, was the loving wife of David Wight, adored sister of Deb, Stephen, Dave and Vicky, loved and cherished mother of Michelle and Brian, Amy, Samantha and Ben, proud nana of Hayley, Talia, Timothy, Tobis, Karen, Jessica, Michael, PJ, Eliza, Jack and Travis, and great nana to Ava, now at peace with Dad, Jeffrey James Feldman. And on behalf of Gippsland Funeral Services, Paula, Carl and myself, may I extend our sincere condolences to you all for your sad loss. Susan's brother Stephen and her sister Deborah are currently interstate, but they're watching remotely with us right now and are also an important part of this tribute today. Life's burdens are made just that little bit easier when you have the support of caring friends, and the family thank you for sharing in this tribute to Susan today and for any cards, flowers and messages received and in any way you've offered your assistance. And a special thank you to Susan's carer Barbie for taking such good care of her. Susan's family have designed this service in order that it reflects their memories and sentiments at this time. They've done lots of work behind the scenes and several will also be participating personally. And they've also included an invitation for anyone else here in the chapel to say a few words of your own during personal tributes, which you'll see in your service booklets. Or you may have something to be read out, so you have a little bit of time ahead to think. As we listen to the song, Supermarket Flowers with Ed Sheeran, we'll invite each of you to come forward and light a candle in love and remembrance of Susan. We have a main candle alight there already, and we have a basket of tapered candles for you to light, so thank you.
I took the supermarket flowers from the windowsill. I threw the day-old tea from the cup. Packed up the photo album Matthew had made. Memories of a life that's been loved. Took the Garrett well-soon cars and stuffed animals. Poured the old ginger beer down the sink. Dad always told me, don't you cry when you're down. But Mum, there's a tear every time that I blink. Oh, I'm in pieces, it's tearing me up. But I know a heart that's broke is a heart that's been loved. So I'll sing hallelujah. You were an angel in the shape of my mom. When I fell down, you'd be there holding me up. Spread your wings as you go. And when God takes you back, he'll say hallelujah, you're home. I fluffed the pillows, made the bed, stacked the chairs up. Folded your nightgowns neatly in a case. John said he'd drive, then put his hand on my cheek and wiped a tear from the side of my face. And I hope that I see the world as you did, 'cause I know a life with love is a life that's been lived. So I'll sing hallelujah. You were an angel in the shape of my mom. When I fell down, you'd be there holding me up. Spread your wings as you go. And when God takes you back, he'll say hallelujah, you're home. you got to see the person I have become. Spread your wings and I know that when God took you back, he said, hallelujah, you're home.
Thank you. Our first reading is titled 5 Minutes Poem by Anne-Marie Campbell, and it will be read by granddaughter Amy on behalf of Susan's little sister Deb. Dora?
I'm the daughter.
Oh, okay. Oh, sorry.
No, that's okay. My Aunt Deb.
Okay, you've got the copy.
This is a poem called 5 Minutes that Auntie Deb wanted written out. Sorry. It's really fitting as well, and I know Barbie wrote something very similar. So, if I only had 5 minutes the day you passed away, I would have had time to tell you all the things I needed to say. I never got to tell you how much you mean to me, or that you were the best that anyone could be. The last time I talked to you, I wish I would have known. I would have said I love you and kept you on the phone. If I only had 5 minutes the day you passed away, I'd hold on to you with real tight hugs. I wouldn't want you to go. I would tell you that I miss you more than you'll ever know. Now God has called upon you. It's time to get your wings, to leave this life behind you and enjoy all heaven's beautiful things. So wait for me in heaven. Don't let me come alone. The day the angels come for me, please be there to bring me home.
Thank you very much, Amy. Please welcome daughter Michelle, who will present the eulogy on behalf of the family.
My mother Sue was a warm, compassionate and fierce woman who always went out of her way to help others, no matter what. She had a wonderful sense of humour which endeared her to everyone she came in contact with, and is a great testament to her nature that she formed so many long-lasting friendships over the years. So many of you would be here today if you could. Mum liked to say that she was made in Manchester and born in Melbourne in 1956 after her parents, Murray and Frank Giles, immigrated to Australia. Her little sister Debbie was born a few years later, and she was always she would always smile because she was your sister, and wickedly laugh because there wasn't anything that you could do about that. Their childhood wasn't always easy, but they had each other, and great mischief would always follow. Both of you have an amazing sense of humour and have the ability to laugh, even in the darkest of times. When Mum was a teenager, her mother remarried and her little brother Stephen was born shortly after. And oh, Mr. Magoo, she adored you. You were the greatest gift your parents ever gave her. Mum couldn't wait to start her own family, and Amy and I were born when she was still a teenager. You would have thought that I was an amazing child for her to have gone back and willingly done it again so soon, but she had no difficulty in telling me that I certainly was not. Being a single mother in the 70s was really hard, but she made a lot of sacrifices to ensure that we never went without anything. She didn't always love wisely, obviously, but she never gave up looking for love, and she found it when she married Jeff, who became our dad and blended our families together. Our home was chaotic and filled with children, family, animals, and friends. Did I mention it was chaos? Sam completed our family as the baby of us all, but it never stopped any of us from constantly bringing home others for Mum to nurture, lecture, and love like her own. I honestly forget how many times I would have to sleep on the couch because I would come home to find that she'd put someone else in my bed. Quite a few people have reached out to tell us of the impact that she had on their lives and how she had had a hand in raising them, teaching them, and loving them. And I know that she is as fiercely proud of you all as she is of us. Dad passed away suddenly in 2007 and Mum was lost. Their dream of running away to the country for some well-earned and deserved peace and quiet had come to an end, and her whole life instantly changed. It wasn't until much later that we realised that this was also the start of the battle with her health and not just the overwhelming grief she was suffering. As she always did, she picked herself up and created her new normal. She shone as a grandmother and delighted in allowing her grandkids to get away with things that her children were never allowed to. She would drive us crazy by always choosing their side over ours and would often tell us off for being too strict. Secretly, we loved watching how fiercely she loved them too. She was so very proud of you all. And it delighted her in watching you all grow up. She was so very proud to have recently become a great-grandmother and delighted in spoiling little Ava. She's so happy that you're in the world, little one. Mum met Dave and they were married in 2016. Dave, you have been there when things were tough and have stood by her side throughout her struggles, and we all love how you loved her. You spoiled her with little gifts and flowers, and you always took great joy in making things for her. We all appreciate everything you did for her. Despite her health issues, you built a good life together. We all see you and we all thank you. Mum has had some amazing friends over the years that have always been a huge part of our lives. I strongly believe that you can choose your family, and she definitely chose you. We've been stuck with you all now for a long time, and we love and adore every moment of it. I was so afraid of leaving people out that I didn't want to mention any of you by name, and that really highlighted to me how much of an impact she really has had on so many people. I do want to mention a few, but it certainly isn't all of you. Auntie Sue and Uncle Les, I can't remember a time when you weren't part of our lives. And I thank you so much for the strength and compassion that you have shown us. I know Mum made you promise to look after her girls, and for that I'm thankful. We need you. Annette, Julie and Jan, you guys were the awesome foursome, and were always up to no good. You were such a great example of strong sisterhood and the strength of women. We learnt so much from you, and thank you. Kylie, Mum will forever be your mermaid, and she loved you so very much. Mum also had many friends in the magical land of the internet who were there for her when she couldn't sleep, when she was hurting, when she became housebound, and when her isolation was just too much. Thank you for being there for her, laughing with her, and sharing windows into your lives. It helped her more than you will ever know. I also want to thank Barbie, who along with Samantha provided much of the day-to-day care for Mum in the last few years of her life. We want to thank you for the friendship, support and care that you gave her. You were such a shining light for her in her darkest of days. I think each of us stole a moment when you both thought you were alone to eavesdrop from another room, just to hear the two of you laugh and giggle. You bullied her with so much love to enjoy every moment, and we saw you, we see you, and thank you so very much. Mum and I took a moment to speak about what comes next for her, and her eyes lit up as she told me that there was a whole lot of people waiting to hug her. And she laughed when she said they were probably going to fight over who gets to hug me first. She listed them all those people who went before her. I'm so incredibly jealous of them all right now, so they better all be hugging her together. I really struggled to find the right words to say today, to show you all my heart shattered on the floor. And so I asked PJ, what should I say about Nana? And he told me, just say thank you. That's all you need to say. Thank you, Mama.
Thank you so much, Michelle. Beautifully written and beautifully presented. Would anybody else like to say a few words or have anything read out?
Okay. I'm Uncle Les. We are all here to say goodbye to a beam of sunshine, a mother, a grandmother, a great-grandmother, a wife, a sister and a friend. Many things to many people, but always the same, no matter how many years passed or who she was with. Sue was family to us. We may not have seen much of each other as we would like to have, but when we did, it was like no time had passed since our last visit. Every one of us is perfectly imperfect. Our flaws and mistakes do not define us. Sue walked through life with an open heart, beautiful smile and an infectious giggle. A beautiful soul who, even though life's struggles, chose to smile and focus on what was beautiful, special, and a blessing in her alive, rather than the struggles that were in front of her. She raised her children with that same mindset. She taught them strength, courage and compassion, and was fiercely proud of them, as they should be of themselves. Sue will forever remain that beautiful ray of sunshine above our heads until the day we can all see her smile and hear her giggle once more. So today we celebrate the beautiful person she was and will keep her in our hearts and memories. When the sun is shining, we know in our hearts she is there warming those she loves. With her love too. She'll never be too far away, watching over us, all with a smile.
Thank you very much. Would anybody else like to say a few words? Yeah.
We'll get there.
That's all right.
G'day everyone. I was sort of thinking I wanted to say something today, but I didn't know what I wanted to say. I was watching a show, a documentary, and it was about sport, and they were talking about legacies and the legacies that all these people left, and everyone wants to leave a legacy. And I just wanted to acknowledge Sue's, in my mind, her legacy, and that's a legacy of love and kindness. And we've heard it a bit already today, and we all know it. But for me, when I first started seeing Michelle, I think without Sue, we wouldn't have lasted. Sue just took me in under her wing. She loved me and supported me from the start. She took my side in arguments all the time. But always made me feel welcome, and was always so kind to me. Without Sue showing that to me and supporting Michelle, bring her up to be the person she is, then we wouldn't have had room in our lives for Karen and PJ. So a legacy of love and kindness is just it's affected so many people. That's only a small number of us here, but I'm sure there's so many people at home thinking about the love and kindness they got from Sue, and let's just make sure we don't forget that and carry that with us for the rest of our lives.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Anybody else? Yeah.
Mum, there's so much I want to say to you. But the one thing that stands out the most is I will always love you and I'm going to be okay. You always said you were worried about what would happen to me after you go. But you know what, Mum? I'm strong just like you. I'm going to continue what I promised you, and I'm going to raise money for the one thing that took you from us. I'm going to continue the fight until the end. I promised you I'll look after Dave, Dad. And I always will, Mum. And Dave is a part of our family and will always be. SBS is going to become even better than what it is now, and it's because of you. You pushed me to start it. You made me come out of my shell and shine. And for that, I'm so grateful. The friends and SBS family I made along the way will last forever. Last night I woke with a smile on my face. I had a dream that you and Dad were hugging and you both turned and smiled at me. The time we spent together over the years, I'll hold on tight to and never let go. You always said you felt like a burden on me. But do you know what? I would never change it in any way. We spent so much time together, laughing, crying, and you were almost making me wet myself. So I had to crawl to the toilet. The times you just sat there and held each other, something I will never forget. The last thing, Mum, I'm never going to let the kids forget you. I'm going to talk to them about you and all the fun times you had with them. Rest now, Mum and Dad and Leonie. I know that you will walk with me in life. Today is not goodbye, but I will see you again. Love you to the moon and back. Thank you.
Thank you. Well, Susan's son-in-law Brian has programmed some favourite family photos into a life story DVD, which is accompanied by the song Somewhere Over the Rainbow with Israel Kamaka Viva Oli. Well, thank you to Brian. There were some beautiful memories. As we quietly reflect upon Sue's life, we'll listen to some deep ocean relaxing music from Sleep Deep Music. And during that time, you're invited to come forward and address the coffin or give any floral cuttings or mementos or anything with you. Thank you. closing reading is titled If Ever There Is a Tomorrow, taken from Winnie the Pooh by A. Milne, and it will be read by Samantha.
If there is ever a tomorrow when we're not together, there is always something you must remember. You are braver than you believe, stronger than you seem, and smarter than you think. But the most important thing is, even if we are apart, I'll always be there with you.
Thank you, Sam. We've now reached the time where we must say goodbye to Susan's physical presence and send her on her next journey. Surrounded by the love of her family and friends and the comfort of memory, we'll symbolically lower her coffin in a gesture of love and farewell to the specially chosen song Shiver Me Timbers by Bette Midler. For your comfort, you're welcome to remain seated so that we can listen to the whole song, and then you can leave the chapel at your leisure. Once again, on behalf of the family, thank you for sharing in this loving tribute to Susan. May she live long in your hearts.
Well, I'm leaving my family, I'm leaving all my friends. My body's at home, but my heart's in the wind, and the clouds are like a line upon a new front page sky. My tears are salt water, the moon is full and high. And I know your comrade would be proud of me. Many before me been called by the sea to be up in the crow's nest, singing my same. Shiver the timbers, let's all sail away. And the fog lifting, the sand shifting, I'm drifting on home. Oh, Captain Ahab, got nothing on me. So follow me, don't follow me, I'm traveling alone. The water's my daughter, I skip like a stone. When the fall's lifting, the sand's shifting, I'm drifting on out. Oh, Captain Ahab, got nothing on me. Oh, so follow me, don't follow me, I'm traveling alone. The water, she is my daughter, I skip like a stone. Won't you please